All right, all right, all right. Back like I never left. I had to make a thumbnail real quick for y'all. I had to find the press conference, but I just got off of a live and y'all said, Nique, we want you to go over the press conference and update from Ben Crump and his team talking about the other incidents that happened. And we're going to go over it in this live. As you guys come on in, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you get introduced over here proper like. Hey, what's up? It's your girl Nique and you're tuned in to Nique at Night. If this is your first time here, over here we are the Night Owls. If you have not hit that subscribe button, I want you to go ahead and do that right now. This is a channel where I talk about celebrity news and gossip and give my opinion on trending stories. But just know, keep in mind that over here, this is an acquired taste. You know what I'm saying? This ain't for everybody. So, you know, proceed with caution. But, you know, still hit that subscribe button. Anyways. All right. So there was a press conference to give an update as to what they plan to do next. Now, we're still waiting for the results of the autopsy, and we're told that we're going to have to wait until they present these things to a grand jury, so that can take months. But in the meantime, they decided, and I know one of the things that they go over is the fact that there was the audio from the CETO call. And from the audio from the CETO call, they're going to get their own independent engineer, audio engineer, to enhance that audio. Now, we've seen that there was a woman named Janetta, and she enhance the audio, but they announced one of the things that they're going to do is also get their own independent engineer to clean up the audio, and then they're going to release their version of the audio of the CETO call. Now, in addition to that, they went over other cases that were similar to Nolan Wells and gave us some more updates. So I'm going to pull that up so that we can go over it. Anything else that y'all want me to cover, then let me know.
When he went into the water, was he conscious? We also have Nolan Wells. Justice for Daniel Irving. 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 Justice for Tyler Smith. 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 Justice for Tyler Smith.
All right. So off the bat, you can see that this is similar to when they announced the autopsy report. Now, some of y'all might be mad at me for saying this. I enjoy updates on a case, right? I appreciate the fact that Ben Crump is representing the family, and I appreciate the fact that he is putting them in touch with the right people so that they can put people on notice, that they want to preserve evidence, that they can put them with the best audio engineers, best autopsy medical examiners, etc. I think that with his exposure to the case and him coming on, I think that he's able to get like coverage. The only thing that I don't like, and I'm gonna be honest, these press conferences that are made to be like these big events, okay? I'm the type, I like one-on-one interviews a little bit better. That's just me, my personal liking. But it seems to be effective because, you know, they're going to these like convention style places and making these announcements. Me personally, I would have liked better if he just streamed from his office with the families and gave us updates in a more like intimate setting. You know what I mean? That's just me. I don't, all the whole audience and the whole show and charade and all that and the preachy stuff, That's not my cup of tea, but I do appreciate the fact that he is advocating for them. I just think that it would be received better in a more intimate setting with him, the family sitting there. They have their press people in there, and they're talking directly to us, the audience. You know what I mean? Like that's what I prefer. Just being honest. I don't like all the extra stuff, but again, it appears that this must be effective. So let's continue.
Justice for our black children. 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 Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let me say how much I appreciate you all coming out for this important media conference. We have organized this press conference for a few purposes. One purpose is because we want the world to know that the National Urban League and all of our affiliates and members and supporters across the country are standing with these three families. And when families suffer the tragedy of the loss of a child, it gets lonely. And when families suffer the loss of children under circumstances that are suspicious and to the naked eye appear unjust, we must stand with these families. Amen. When families face the challenge of a non-responsive criminal justice system, we must stand with these families. With this giant of a lawyer and advocate over the last 15 years, going all the way back to Trayvon Martin, we have stood with Ben Crump and his clients. And we have stood with Ben Crump and his clients because we want the community to know that we are not going to be silent in the face of injustice. Amen. You and I cannot even fathom the pain of these families. I want to thank them for their courage, for being here in public, under the glare of the media, in these circumstances. But we want them to know they are with family. We are standing with family. So Ben Crump is going to bring us all up to date on the latest facts, events, and status of these three cases. And we are going to continue, as we said in the earlier session, to advocate until there is justice for these three families. And we will not be silent. We will not get tired. Amen. We will not get distracted. Amen. Until justice falls down in these three cases. Amen. So I'm proud to introduce a man who is known as the Attorney General for Black America. And I dare say he stands with the great lawyers that our community has produced. Thurgood Marshall, Constance Baker Motley, Johnny Cotton, and I can name so many others, who over the years have been advocates for our community in many, many ways. So ladies.
Someone in the comments says, is this the press conference from today? Yes. Also, if you guys are here for the first time on my channel, I went live 2 times today. So make sure to check out my other live videos. Whenever you do like 3 videos in a day, YouTube like picks and chooses on which ones to like promote to the audience. So definitely check those out if you guys have not seen it. On my last live, there was people who wanted me to react to or listen to the press conference. So we're listening to it together. Make sure you hit the like button.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next voice you are going to hear is from one of America's great lawyers, someone who is giving voice to the families and the victims of injustice. Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Crump.
Thank you to President and CEO of the National Urban League, Mark Morial. Please give a great round of applause for him not thinking it robbery to invite the families to be here at this great convention. We are so grateful to him and the others in the civil rights community for standing up like they have stood up in the past. And just like we got justice for George Floyd, just like we got justice for Breonna Taylor, Lee Merritt, just like we got justice for Ahmaud Arbery, we gonna get justice for Nolan Wells. We gonna get justice for Daniel Irving, and we gonna get justice for Taylor Smith. And the large part is because you all are not afraid to speak truth to power. Thank you, Mr. Mario. Again, I'm Attorney Ben Crump, along with Attorney Lisa Park, Attorney Eric Hertz. We are here fighting for the family with other great lawyers for Nolan Wells. We also have present with us the family of Daniel Irving, who many of you are just learning about outside of Dallas, Texas, and his tragedy. We have Attorney Sean DeRaya and Attorney Brooke Cluse fighting to help that family get justice, and we want to applaud his mother, Tamika, who has been fighting as only a mother would fight, with not many people in the world listening. But we're listening today, Tamika. You are not alone, Tamika. You got Nolan's mother and father, Christine, and Elmore Wansley, who are standing with you as well. Tamika, your daughter is here. You are not alone. God, please let her know she is not alone. Justice for Daniel Irving. Attorney Harry Daniels, we also have the family of Tyler Smith, Lexington, Kentucky. You're going to hear from all these families. You're going to hear from Tyler's mother and especially his grandmother. You know, until the lawyers get there, until the community advocates get there, a lot of times these families are just by themselves, President Mario. And thank God for this mother and this praying grandmother who refused to let them sweep the death of her grandbaby under the rug. And so I will say briefly about each of these tragedies. Obviously, many of you know about Nolan Wells. And you'll hear from his mother and father after brief remarks by Attorney Hertz and Attorney Park. But we all know July 4th, Nolan Wells goes to France, celebrating the 4th of July. All the friends come back. Nolan Wells tragically washes up on the shore 2 days later, dead. And so we know all the current events that have been happening. We are announcing that we have the audio from the officials, and we have retained and are consulting with some of the foremost audio engineering experts to review those audio tapes from the C-tone call in its entirety. We also, and Attorney Hertz may go into greater detail on these matters, have consulted President Mariel with oceanic engineering experts to talk about how these facts are lining up. The fact that they say Nolan's body was found in the same location where they say they left him at. And so we want to know, how is that possible with the oceanic tides? We want the experts. I mean, you got low tides and high tides. It's not adding up, so we are going to dot every I and cross every T until we find out what happened to Nolan Wells. Attorney Hertz will also go into a little more detail at Attorney Park about how we're trying to coordinate with Dr. Roger Mitchell, who conducted the independent autopsy of Nolan Wells, to be able to inspect his throat that was missing with his body when he was flown to do the autopsy with Dr. Mitchell. Also, we are hopeful that they will discuss with Dr. Mitchell the photographs and observations made at the time when Nolan was first discovered, because Dr. Mitchell did not get an opportunity until July 10th to be able to examine his body. And at that time, we know the airways and the lungs had already been dissected and so forth, so we can't tell if there was the presence of water or not. That would suggest whether he drowned or not. And remember what Dr. Roger Mitchell said in his autopsy. President Mariel, he talked about the fact that to say he drowned does not draw the conclusions of what happened to Nolan Wells. He said it is equally important to know at what condition was Nolan Wells' body when he went into the water. Was he conscious or was he unconscious? Was he forced into the water or did he go unforced into the water? He said all of these things are very important. And so we're dotting I's and crossing T's. We are focused on getting to the truth, and we stand for the truth. Me and everybody on my legal team stand for the truth, no matter who it implicates or who it exonerates. We stand for justice, no matter who it convicts or who it acquits. And we stand for transparency, so everybody can see. And that's all we want.
All right. So I'm going to drop the link for y'all in the chat, because I want y'all to come up here and hang out too while we watch this press conference. But what I found interesting so far is that they see the buzz around this CETO audio. They see the fact that people are getting their engineers to authenticate and enhance the audio, and they want to get the best of the best to do an enhancement themselves. All right. So they want to know what actually is being said by somebody that they go out and seek, who is the best of the best to do it. Even though there is already cleaned up audio, they want to know for themselves what it says is what it really says, etc., by people that they hire. And they want to go further as to know, was he a person that drowned? And if that is true, was it due to force? Like somebody held down his neck? Okay. Or was it due to an accident? Because simply saying he's drowned does not mean that it wasn't a forced drowning or an accidental drowning. So they're trying to probe and get the doctor that did the second autopsy to be able to see the photographs that the first person who did the autopsy took, and to be able to examine that throat. They really want to know what the throat has to say and show based on that. Now, I believe Judge Joe Brown has spoke about this. Let me see if I still have the clip, because he had made a post. Whenever I'm looking for something, I don't know why it always, when I have stuff queued up on Facebook, it refreshes and then takes off the thing that I had put up there. It's so annoying, because before I'll have all of these links up and everything set in stone, and then when I go back to it, Facebook have refreshed the link. So let me try to find it again. 1 second, y'all.
And lo and behold, even though they're trying to downplay it, and I understand Ben Crump and NAACP and others don't want to try and jump to conclusion or step too far out, but the forensic autopsy showed that there was what they call discoloration. No, I call them bruises in the back of the head, appearing that someone has had their hand pressed at the back of their head, at the back of Nolan's head. That's concerning to me. And so hopefully we'll get some more insight on that. I'm not sure. It seems like there's another opportunity for them to investigate something physiological. I'm just not sure, because as far as I knew, the forensic autopsy is as far as you go, but we'll see. But yeah, that's what causes new concern. And then you've had different stories coming out from the teenagers. One of the young men himself spoke out about it, claiming they had begged Nolan to get on the boat, and that he wouldn't. Then there's the woman that he's supposed to have stayed back with. I think her name Katie or something.
Judge Mathis.
He was supposed to have stayed back with Katie. That was their story. However, Katie's friend says that Katie she saw him only in passing on the island, didn't stay with him, and Katie isn't saying anything at all. So it's a lot of moving parts here, and I'm just hoping it's not one of those quite frankly, and if his friends didn't have anything to do with it and they truly left him behind, etc., etc., he has discoloration, bruises on the back of his neck. Something.
But you know what's funny? I didn't even type in Judge Mathis. I typed in Judge Brown, and this is what came up. So several people are mixing up the two. It is so hard, because they both have a similar look. They both have a similar twang to them, and they both are or were judges. So I typed in Judge Joe Brown, and as you can see, it popped up Judge Mathis. But this is Judge Mathis. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. We got the right person in the video.
And quite frankly, this is Mississippi, where in 1955, which sparked the civil rights movement, Emmett Till was killed for so-called whistling at a white woman. And now we're hearing Nolan Wells stayed back to be with a white woman, and he turns up dead with bruises behind his neck. That's the context I'm putting this in. It's Emmett Till, perhaps, all over.
All right. So that's what he said. What is this?
Patience just to come up here for one more second. I just kind of started putting a few things together thanks to like the flooding of comments that y'all have done.
I don't know who this is.
Nolan Wells' mother. I'm gonna try to get through this without cussing. Nolan's mother is a nurse practitioner. I don't know if you're new here. I'm also a nurse practitioner. From the comments I've been seeing, the racist bigots of the world have literally started going and like looking up her name apparently and giving her bad reviews online. I'm trying not to cuss. God, I'm trying not to cuss because my mama watches these videos and Lord, she hates it when I cuss. I need y'all to understand that not only this woman just lost her son, but her job is being compromised because of the amount of hate from racist bigots. The woman can't even lay her son to rest. She takes care of people for a fucking living. Nurse practitioner.
All right, she's doing a lot of cursing. Let's go back to the video at hand. Let's go back to the press conference.
Answers. We're not casting aspersions on anybody. We are saying that we want to make sure everybody who is remotely involved has their questions answered to make sure we have a full and fair and impartial and transparent investigation. And is that too much to ask for these broken-hearted parents? Is that too much to ask? That's if it was your child, wouldn't you want the same thing?
All right. And as you can see, conveniently, the same day that Nolan Wells' family goes and they're like, listen, we want additional answers, the NBC News made an announcement. And I thought that all of the information regarding the autopsy was under wraps, under seal, in a secret location until it's presented to a grand jury. Why do we know when it was complete when we're allegedly not going to find out the findings until after it's presented to a grand jury? Now, it makes me think if leaks like this are where Batum, Haters Tatum is getting his little birdie telling him that it 100%, I'm told that it's gonna say that he has cocaine in his system. Are there leaks in there? Or did a person who has something and some type of tell him? Who's telling these things? But as you can see, they went and did a press conference, and then out of nowhere, the state is announcing that the autopsy has been completed. Shout out to the little birdie that reminded us about this in the chat. So Nolan Wells' state autopsy has been completed. Officials tell NBC. Once the death investigation wraps, the case, including autopsy results, will be presented to a grand jury to decide whether to bring formal charges. All right. Now, I'm not subscribed to NBC, but it says that the medical examiner has completed this. Child, how do I look at this without subscribing? I know there's a way to see articles without being subscribed, but anyways, it say that it's completed. Child, I'm not signing up. I don't care if it's $1. Because no. The hell? But anyways, let's go back to let's go back to the press conference. Somebody screenshot it and send it to me that is subscribed.
And I get it. They're attacking me. They're attacking Reverend Al. They're attacking the parents of Nolan Wells. We don't care about those distractions. We ain't no ways tired. We are completely focused, completely laser focused on getting to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help us, God. And so the threats, the attacks mean nothing to us. We will not be deterred. Look into our eyes. We're going to get to the truth. I am so grateful to Mr.
State autopsy report now in the hands of investigators. The results have not been made public. The examination of Nolan Wells' body was conducted on July 7th, one day after he was found dead at the Barrier Island, where he spent the 4th of July holiday with friends. This as new video surfaces appearing to show Nolan at different points during the day. The Officer Tatum podcast posting surveillance video from the boat launch where Nolan and his friends departed on the morning of July 4th. The podcast also airing video and NBC News analysis confirms is from Horn Island on July 4th. You see dozens of boats and people in the water, the show's host claiming Nolan is among them. Another clip aired on the podcast appears to show Nolan's friend's boat being towed. Nolan does not appear to be on it. One of Nolan's friends who traveled home on the boat said they left because the boat malfunctioned and that Nolan decided to stay behind. Meanwhile, Nolan's mother, as administrator of his estate, making several legal moves, this week sending subpoenas to several social media companies for information and content from his accounts. Today, Nolan's mother again asking her community to speak up.
We are begging, if anyone knows anything, his friends, strangers, please call the hotline.
To Barrier Island, where he spent the 4th of July holiday with friends.
All right. So if there is mention of cocaine in his system, then we know that there was a leak. If there is no mention that there was cocaine in his system, then we know that Tatum is willing to do anything to lick the boots of his conservative counterparts. But let's go back to the press conference.
Whole truth and nothing but the truth.
I had to bring it back a little.
So help us, God. And so the threats, the attacks mean nothing to us. We will not be deterred. Look into our eyes. We're going to get to the truth. I am so grateful to Mr. Byron Allen for donating $100,000 to the GoFundMe so we can help get the best experts in the world. I am thankful to Reverend Al Sharpton. I am thankful to Mr. Tyler Perry. I'm thankful to Mr. Tara Owens. I am very thankful to everybody who did not think it robbery to say, what can we do to help people get to the truth and call in to the tip line so we can help not only Nolan Wells' family, but we can help Daniel Irving's family, and we can help Tyler Smith's family as well. Everybody on social media, please continue to ask questions. Please continue to share photographs, share videos. It all helps us solve this potential of what happened to Nolan Wells. I mean, this is so important. Somebody saw something. Somebody knows something. As Christine and Elmore have said, if you're really Nolan's friend, you know in your heart of hearts that if the roles were reversed, that Nolan would say something. He would call and tell what he saw. And so that's all they're asking. Do for Nolan what he would have done for you. Do for Nolan what he would have done for you. Do for Nolan what he would have done for you. Congresswoman Beatty, we thank you in the Congressional Black Caucus. Please stand and join us, Congresswoman. You all asking the questions from the Department of Justice and the FBI. It's important that we have the full weight and force of everybody who has any kind of authority to be able to help us get answers on Nolan Wells and the other 18-year-old black boy. Now, before I bring up the lawyers, I just want to say a word about Daniel Irving and about his case, and you will hear from Attorney Sean DeRaya, and after you hear from his mother, Tamika. So similar in what they're saying about Nolan Wells, and that is her 18-year-old son, President Maria, Congresswoman Lady, two young white teenagers come, pick them up from their house, leave, they go on, I guess it's an alleged fishing trip. Her son, I guess they are saying, accidentally drowns. But his two friends then throw away his clothes, right, Sean? Throw away his cell phone, go and delete all the text messages between Daniel Irving and them, and then say nothing. If it's an accidental drowning, why wouldn't you come to his mother and tell her he drowned by accident? Why wouldn't you go to the authorities? Why wouldn't you go to somebody and say there was a terrible tragedy, he accidentally drowned? But no, they gonna throw away all of the evidence that is germane to finding out what happened. And it's only after his mother raised all kind of hell, and for 4 days they are searching for what happened. Minister Dominique Alexander and the activists in Dallas, they're saying, no, something happened to Daniel Irving. We got to get to the bottom of this. Then and only then, Mark Coriel, does the young people come forward to the authorities with their parents, and they say, well, we were there, and they confessed that they threw away his cell phone and his calls, and they deleted the messages. And so law enforcement charged and arrested him after 3 months. 3 months passed, not until Nolan Wells started making the news that they finally come and they arrest them, but not for the death of Daniel Irving. They arrest him with tampering with evidence, and that's it. And what his mother is saying, what Attorney DeRaya is saying, what Attorney Cruz is saying is simply this: if they would lie about his cell phone and throw it away, if they would lie about his clothes and throw it away, if they would lie about deleting text messages between Daniel and them, how can you believe it when they say it was an accidental drowning? They need to take this case to a grand jury. And you're going to hear from...
All right. So the case that he's talking about took place in Texas. Now, from my understanding, because I've seen this coming down my social media, this incident happened in April. There was no arrest in the case or anything in the case until the coverage of Nolan Wells. So I remember going on my social media account, and then somebody tagged me in a thread, and they were like, hey, Nick, you need to look at this case about this guy named Daniel Irving. He went out with his two white friends. They were supposed to be on a fishing trip, and he died. But there's no arrest. There's nothing. And then Nolan Wells' coverage started heating up. People started to demand justice for Nolan Wells, demand that people are held accountable. And right at the time that Nolan Wells started to get a lot more coverage, then the pressure on this case started to heat up. Okay? After, mind you, this situation happened in April. After Nolan Wells' coverage starts going through the cycle, then there's this arrest or admission that, well, we didn't do nothing, but we did delete stuff on his phone, throw away, da 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 da. And still, even though they arrested them for tampering with evidence, there has not been an arrest for the death. And so what he's saying is, if they will lie and say that they did all of these things onto his phone, but conceal it for all of this time, what makes you think that they are not concealing other things? Now, they also, in this press conference, they talk about another case as well. And it's just so sad and unfortunate, the climate that we are in. A lot of people want to make us feel as though, oh, we're delusional. Oh, you're making everything about race. Da 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 da. We're in a climate right now in 2026 where it shows you where we stand, how people feel about us, and how our cases with our Black children are investigated so much differently than that of others. We see that in how the investigation drags their feet, how when it's not Black on Black crime. Now, when it's Black on Black crime, they find the culprit, arrest them, da 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 da, immediately. But when it's white on Black crime or things of that nature, there is a different tone to it. So what they're doing is basically saying, listen, we're not going to go for that anymore. We're going to make a stand, and we demand answers for our Black children as well. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it. Let me see what y'all are saying in the comments. Tyler Smith, unalived in July. I think that's the next story that they were about to talk about. Them 50,000 Nolan dad did is throw off that money going to somebody close and willing to script and play along. Somebody said, wait a minute, Nick, I know you lying. They really stuff from his phone. What? I don't know what you're saying. But you said you sent me what video? Let me see. You said I sent you the video. What video? Oh, okay. I already played that. The video of the autopsy being repeated. I already played that already. Let me see. Y'all saying Katie posting receipts? What is this?
Timestamp receipts, videos, pictures from where she was at in Ocean Springs, and you see the time right down there. 6:02 p.m.
Hold on, let me see if Katie's post.
KK said there's no way y'all gonna keep playing on her name, babes. 5:24 p.m. She's got the receipts. She was not with who y'all said she was with.
Hold on, let me show y'all this video.
Looks like our girl KK said you're not gonna get me. Look who just uploaded and dropped some receipts to the Biloxi group chat showing where they were at. Our girl KK, and I can't say her name, but it rhymes with Haiti, has provided timestamp.
I don't know what the Biloxi group chat is. Let me see. Let me show y'all this. Let me see. One second.
Said you're not gonna get me. Look who just uploaded and dropped some receipts to the Biloxi group chat showing where they were at. Our girl KK, and I can't say her name, but it rhymes with Haiti, has provided timestamp receipts, videos, pictures from where she was at in Ocean Springs, and you see the time right down there. 6:02 p.m. And guess who's not with her? KK said there's no way y'all gonna keep playing on her name, babes. 5:24 p.m. She's got the receipts. She was not with
who y'all said she was with. I mean, she's got multiple receipts. Yeah, like her face, location. That's very clearly her. I mean, this is a picture from her Facebook, and I just matched you with one of the pictures that was posted to White and Proud. All these photos basically giving us timestamps of where she was at, which is very interesting because if she was on the boat with her friends and wasn't where y'all said she was, where everybody at? I mean, she's the only one who's been giving cooperating statements. She was the first one to go to the Popo. KK. What the fuck y'all gonna say now? The story is literally falling at our feet. Hey yo, but why does that look like Smart's boat? Uh-oh. Looks like our girl KK said you're not gonna get me. Look who just uploaded and dropped some receipts to the Biloxi group chat. Show it.
All right. So I'm not sure what the Biloxi group chat is, but that is somebody alleging that that's Katie. Let me see if I could pull up anything. Y'all be pulling up all kind of stuff. Y'all got Warren and different girls. Y'all got Katie up here. Hold on, I'm looking through this to see something real quick. Y'all done pulled up all these folks' prom pictures. Who is this? Is that her daddy? All right, I pulled up Katie's page. I don't see that on her page, but anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think. I forgot what I had went to Instagram to look. I was going to Instagram to look for something, and then that popped up. Let me see. What was I going on here to look for? Anyways, I forget what I was going to look for, child. I get easily distracted. Don't mind me. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Is there anything else that y'all wanted me to pull up before we go? And if there's anybody who wants to chime in and give your thoughts on what is going on. Oops. I think I put the wrong link. Delete, 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 delete. Come up. If not, I don't want to talk by myself. I've been talking, reading papers, all of that. So come up and chat, or we gonna end the link because in the live because child, I feel like I done talked a lot. But justice for everybody, okay? Justice for everybody. Everybody needs justice. Anybody that has a case that's unsolved, that the people are dragging their feet. Y'all say talk about Miracle Watts' new hubby, Miss. That's unconfirmed right now. So I'm gonna wait to see whatever happens with that before I bring it up. Unforgettable.
Me.
Hello.
Hey,
But
can you hear me?
I did see the alleged DMs. Yeah, I can hear you.
What you mean alleged DM? Oh Lord. What I
Oh
sent
no, I'm
you?
talking about the situation with Miracle Watts. It's something
Oh,
else.
okay. Me at this point, do you think they should just come on out and confess, or do you think that they're just gonna let it? They're gonna ride it until they can't no more?
I think that we just got to see what the toxicology report says and go from there.
Because it just imploded. I'm sorry. It just everybody involved now. It you know it look bad. It look real.
What you say? You were going in and out.
I said this looks bad. It looks really bad on their part. I'm talking about like their mom, the judge. You know what I mean? She shouldn't have said nothing. Absolutely not. Did you show
Yeah.
what Katie posted?
Yeah, I just showed the girls going over what Katie posted, yeah. But I don't know where she got that from. She's saying the Biloxi group chat, but I don't know where she got that.
Uh-huh. All
Yeah,
right, Nick.
so
You've
I
been on
have
a roll
no
today.
idea. Huh?
You've been on a roll today.
You know, we gotta pump it out. We gotta pump out the information
Uh-huh.
and all of that. Um
Okay.
Somebody
All
said
right.
I miss the days when Tatum and his dumb ass wasn't all over my timeline, right? He'll want to be Candace Owens. He want to be Candace Owens so bad. Black women are the blueprint. No matter what, like he want to be Candace so bad. Child. Um.
Do you think he's gonna try to ride this out too? Because I think he thought this was gonna be like his breakout.
You said what?
I thought he was thinking this right here was gonna be like, you know, that was gonna make him, a household name. Like it was gonna really boost his career in social media. Can you hear me?
Yeah. What did you say?
I said, do you think when it comes out that everything is not as he said it is, you think he gonna come back and apologize and admit he
Absolutely
was wrong?
not. No, he'll just move the goalposts. If it comes out that he has been spreading BS, he's only gonna just move the goalpost to, oh well, this I can only go off of what they told me. He's gonna move the goalpost. But we just have to be patient, see what the medical examiner says, and hope that the mistrust that people have isn't true, because people don't believe Mississippi is worth a damn, and they
I
are
grew up in
calling it out.
Mississippi. I grew up in Mississippi. I graduated from a Mississippi high school. Believe me, you get your Negro wake up call at a young age, very young age.
Mhm. But this is what some people in Mississippi are saying. Let me show this really quickly. So this is people in Mississippi.
Hi, my name's Noelle, and I'm a resident of Ocean Springs, and I have lived in Ocean Springs since 2015. I am here to ask for transparency for the Nolan Wells case. There has been a history of systemic racism that we have experienced since I've lived in Ocean Springs. Some of it has involved the KKK. And then we don't have a lot of transparency with the DA's office and grand juries or county grand juries. And so I'm just here, to ask for more transparency. Also, we know that there's been a history of medical misconduct and gross negligence within the Mississippi Medical Examiner's office. So I would hope that we could get changes to our system that would improve that, because right now we've just had changes to personnel. Thanks. Hi, my name's Noelle, and I'm a resident of Ocean Springs, and I have lived in Ocean Springs since 2015.
All right. So that was posted, and hopefully she's genuine. I witnessed that, in these cases, sometimes people be paid actors, but hopefully what she's saying is genuine and she has genuine concern for Nolan Wells. But on this page, they have different people who have been seeking justice.
I think that educated population can make their own decisions. And if we had all of us Americans properly educated on situations such as the mishandling of cases, specifically around young Black people, we have just from the start.
Yeah, I mean, again, hopefully these aren't paid actors and that they're genuinely looking for justice.
Always had these issues of brushing things under the rug so that white people can get away with whatever they happen to have done. And in this case, I do think it's very important that we understand that this is an institutional issue. Yes, we are bringing light to Nolan's case because it is very important to know what happened here. In addition to that, there are countless Black lives that we have no answers for what happened to them, and even in cases where it's pretty clear what did, like someone hanging.
My name is Kayla, and I live on the other side of the Gulf Coast. Firstly, let me start by extending my support and condolences to the Wells family. From what I have heard and seen, y'all are a strong family whose strength is being needlessly tested. Know that myself and many others are standing with you and holding your heart and ours. Secondly, to Mississippi. I am tired, and frankly, all of us are tired of your history of racism, corruption, and injustice. I'm here because I understand that this is not an Ocean Springs problem. This is a Mississippi problem, and Nolan Wells should be the last case like this. We should have institutions that work for us because that's what they are set up to do, work for us. The police work for Nolan Wells' family too. The police are to talk to the family that these cases involve.
All right. So these things are Miss Rising Coalition. And like I said, hopefully they're genuine. So y'all, thank you guys for coming up. If there's anything else, I did see the situation with Miracle Watts and allegedly what people are saying. But if there's anything else to go live on, y'all let me know. I'll be back. But check out my other 2 live videos. My live video from earlier and my live video from earlier than that.